Yeah, 100%. You can screw everything else up. You can be on your toes. You can have your knees forward. As long as your elbows aren't touching knees or another part of your body doesn't touch the floor, that lift is deemed well done. You've done well. So I to answer the question again about weightlifting and general public and that, I think masters athletes, it is an essential skill to work on. I get going to the commercial gyms are fun, but you're never just going to sit on a machine.
No, that's it.
Your quads don't work that way. Your thighs don't move like that. Your hamstrings don't move like that. Like, you've got to learn to squat. Why not learn it in what's going to benefit not just for the squat, but it'll benefit in movement patterns. It'll benefit in range of motion. It'll benefit mobility. So over and above learning to use the machine, you should want to learn to weightlift.
To move it freely, to be able, not be restricted by. I mean, machines are great for sort of rehabbing any kind of injury because you're there, the machine's got you. You're not going to go outside of that particular thing. But
as you know, with me, I'm a big believer of everything has a time and a place. I don't believe in the fitness industry. It's always evolving. Shit's always changing, and so it should be something that's like there's a time and a place for it. Is this the time for you, and is this the place for you? Well, that's what us as coaches analyze and look at. And if you've got a good coach and you come in and you're like, well, it's my first day, well, then they shouldn't be prioritizing how low you can go.
No, so that's it.
It goes into the sport, and yes, we need it, but everything has a time and a place. And same with commercial gyms. You've got an injury, you need isolation work, all that kind of jazz. You need that environment, but it's not an essential.
No, definitely not far from it. And I think that's the beauty of knowing you're a masters lifter and lifting with other masters lifters as well. You know, there isn't that pressure to go as deep as a 21-year-old or to be quite as snappy as a 21-year-old straight out the blocks.
And I always talk about when I was a youngster and the weightlifting scene wasn't that big. If you're a masters athlete now, get into weightlifting because it's not big yet. Again, I was told by my mentors years and years ago when CrossFit first came out, and there was all this like, oh, CrossFit's bullshit and blah, 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 all this crap. My mentors turned around and said, well, everything's got a time and a place. And if you think before then, cycling wasn't a big thing. Then spinning arrived. And all of a sudden people trained during winter, and there was this vibe to spinning, and all of a sudden all these cycling events came. And my mentor at the time said to me, Mark, CrossFit will do for weightlifting and powerlifting what spinning did for cycling. And 100%, that's exactly what it is. The masters divisions are growing rapidly, but that's because people that are younger go into CrossFit, they get the buzz and the rush of CrossFit, but there's only so long you can go at that pace for. And so then they get to the 35s and they're like, there's no way I'm going to compete. It's this 18-year-old anymore. Well, I enjoy the lifting. And then they transition into the weightlifting element of it. And so the sport is growing.
Good.
And so, get on the train now kind of thing. It's like, if you're a masters athlete now, get on the weightlifting train now because it's still new, it's still fresh, it's growing, and it's growing rapidly. You can be a part of that journey. So like you're saying, you go on the scene now and you'll see a lot of people don't squat to depth.
No.
They don't do the technical lift, as we would call it, but they're new to lifting. The masters weightlifting wasn't a big thing. And I go back to when I was 35 and it was the same kind of thing. I was like, yep, you're dead when you get to 35. That's it, you're done.
There's a lot of, I remember reading a book and like the first chapter was, no good after 35, that's it, you're down, you didn't scrap yard, that.
I thought that was me done. And then, he's flipping, Rodney. He was my coach at SA. When I go to 35, he introduced me to the whole world. There's a whole masters world. There's masters Olympics. There's masters swimming. There's masters. So anything before that, you never hear it because all they ever advertise is the six-pack, well-built physique athlete of the 19-year-old, 20, 21-year-old. They don't go and put us as masters athletes. Like, look at this dad bod that lifts half the range they're meant to. Let's put him on. That's not going to sell anything. And so you think after 35, you think, fuck, I'm done. But there's a whole world out there of masters, sporting events and everything that you can get into. And so masters weightlifting is growing. And that is a good thing to see as an avid lifter myself.
Definitely, definitely.